Good morning, America. For our viewers in the West, a stunning election night, the deadly UPS plane crash, and the family paying it forward, creating ripples of kindness. Overnight, a new wave sweeps into office, the political earthquake in New York City.
In this moment of political darkness, New York will be the light.
34-year-old Democratic socialist Zohran Mamdani makes history. Moderates set to move into the governor's mansions. Abigail Spanberger in Virginia.
We chose our Commonwealth over chaos.
Making history as the first woman elected governor of that state. Plus Mikey Sherrill in New Jersey.
I am incredibly honored to be your next.
Plus, the high-stakes win for Democrats in California. What it all means for next year's midterms and President Trump. Our powerhouse political team breaks it down. Plus, Mamdani, Sherrill, and Spanberger all join us live.
Catastrophic plane crash. A UPS plane going down moments after takeoff, slamming into an industrial area, erupting into a massive fireball. The fire spreading across a city block. Thick black smoke seen for miles. At least 9 people dead. Now, what we know about that 34-year-old plane on its third flight of the day.
As the government shutdown hits day 36, now breaking the record for the longest in U.S. history, safety in the sky is a growing concern. Why the Transportation Secretary is warning airspace over parts of the country might be closed. And lines outside food banks growing longer. Mixed messages on Snap from the White House, and the glimmer of hope.
Weight loss game changer? Details on the deal being negotiated that could lower the cost of some popular weight loss drugs.
Pizza Hut for sale? Why the popular brand is struggling.
Neighbors helping neighbors.
Are you kidding me? There's no name. It just says, may God prosper and bless your food pantry.
The surprise for the father and his sons who started their own food pantry.
50 days to go. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. This morning, the new holiday shopping forecast. But hang on, we still have to put a turkey on the table. We have the best Thanksgiving meal deals right now. And guess who else has some more exclusive savings for you?
Good morning, America!
Live from ABC News headquarters in New York City, it's Wednesday. Good morning, America.
Good morning, America. Thank you for joining us on this very busy Wednesday morning. And we have a lot of news to get to, including a reality check on melatonin after a headline that suggests taking it for too long may be dangerous. Dr. Terry Narula will have all the details.
That is coming up. First, the election results. Democrats won 3 high-profile races, including here in New York, where Zohran Mamdani, who was a total unknown, defeated former Governor Andrew Cuomo. Mamdani, a Democratic socialist, is now one of the most visible leaders of the Democratic Party's progressive wing. But 2 centrist Democrats, Mikey Sherrill and Abigail Spanberger, won the governor's races in New Jersey and Virginia.
Economic issues, the key ones for voters. We're going to break down the results, what they mean for both political parties and for President Donald Trump. Aaron Katersky is here to start off our election coverage for us. Good morning, Aaron.
Good morning to you, Robin. Let's start right here in New York City, where Zohran Mamdani completed an improbable and rather astonishing surge from political anonymity, convincing New York their city could become fairer and more affordable with generational and ideological change.
Overnight, a stunning sweep for Democrats and a rejection of candidates backed by President Trump.
Donald Trump, since I know you're watching, I have 4 words for you. Turn the volume up.
In the nation's largest city, a political earthquake. 34-year-old Democratic socialist Zohran Mamdani is now the new voice of New York.
In this moment of political darkness, New York will be the light.
Mamdani makes history as the first Muslim mayor.
New York will remain a city of immigrants, a city built by immigrants, powered by immigrants. And as of tonight, led by an immigrant.
His campaign energized New York, which had not seen turnout so high for a mayoral election since 1969. Mamdani will be the city's youngest mayor in a century. Mamdani zeroed in on the high cost of living in New York, pledging free childcare, a rent freeze, and free buses. He came from nowhere to defeat Andrew Cuomo, the former governor whose family has been a presence in New York politics since the 1980s.
Congratulations to Zohran Mamdani. No. That is not right. That is not right, and that is not us. That is not us. Tonight was their night.
President Trump endorsed Cuomo over Republican Curtis Sliwa, who finished a distant third. Democrats can now debate whether the party's future belongs to Mamdani or to moderates like the two women who won the night's other high-profile races. In New Jersey, Trump endorsed businessman Jack Ciattarelli, losing the governor's race to Democratic Representative Mikey Sherrill.
I am incredibly honored to be your next governor.
In Virginia, Democrat Abigail Spanberger flipping control of the state and making history as Virginia's first female governor. She struck a bipartisan tone during a time of deep nationwide division.
I believe in this idea that there is so much more that unites us as Virginians and as Americans than divides us.
And in California, voters changed the state's congressional map to heavily favor Democrats, countering Republican redistricting in Texas and other states, as the focus now turns to next year's midterms and control of Congress.
More than 2 million people voted in the New York City mayor's race, delivering what Mamdani called a mandate for change. But guys, nearly half the city did not vote for him, and he's going to need to navigate one native New Yorker in particular, President Trump.
Okay, Aaron, thanks very much. Let's get more on this now from our Washington Bureau Chief Rick Klein, our Chief White House Correspondent Mary Bruce. And Rick, let me begin with you. It seems like every time we have an election right now, voters are sending a clear message. We want change.
Yeah, that is the only consistent theme, George. You're exactly right. And the worries and uncertainties that face so many Americans boiled over last night. In Virginia, Democrats won back the governor's office and they picked up seats in the state assembly. 64% of voters there said they were either dissatisfied or downright angry as they went to the polls, frustrated by high prices, the political scene, and so much else. And that number was very similar in New Jersey, where the Democrats bucked history to hold on to the governor's office. Both of these governors-elect are women with national security backgrounds, focused intensely on the cost of living. The candidates in the campaigns in a bunch of different races, they were different, but the through line was Trump. Our poll from the weekend showed that president's approval rating 41%. That is down from where he was at the start of his presidency, heading into this midterm year that is almost certainly going to be a referendum on the president.
And so many of these races that you were just talking about weren't even close, Rick.
Yeah, Robin, that was probably the biggest surprise. We're talking about blowouts coast to coast. Most cases, the polls actually understated Democratic support this time around. In Virginia, it was a 15-point drubbing, even with a popular Republican governor in office and his lieutenant governor running for the office. A similar story in New Jersey. The Republican came within 3 points of winning last time. This year, he lost by 13 points.
And how about here in New York City?
Yeah, this is such a story. Zohran Mamdani making history on numerous fronts. And he did it by getting just about half of the more than 2 million people who cast ballots. That's almost twice the turnout that this city saw just 4 years ago.
Okay, let me bring in Mary Bruce. Mary, Zohran Mamdani said it. I know you're watching President Trump. He almost certainly cannot have liked what he saw.
No, he was watching, and he definitely did not like what he saw. There is no question. This was a rebuke of the president and his policies. Now, President Trump this morning is arguing that Republicans lost because of the shutdown, which is interesting because he's argued the Democrats are to blame for that. He also says Republicans lost because Trump wasn't on the ballot himself. Of course, Trump isn't going to be on a ballot again, but his policies will be. And last night, voters resoundingly rejected those policies. We saw over and over again Democrats showing that they can be successful and win big by running against Trump. And the through line in all of these races, that intense focus on affordability and the cost of living. Now, look, Democrats don't exactly have a set playbook here either. The party is still facing some real divisions. It's not clear if they'll be most competitive running as moderates like we saw in New Jersey and Virginia, or adopting more of the Mamdani mold, that populist mold like we saw here in New York. But what is clear right now, Democrats have the momentum going into the midterms.
And as you said, it's almost always about the economy.
Always.
Mary Bruce, thanks very much. And joining us in our next half hour will be the New York City Mayor-elect Zohran Mamdani. Michael?
All right, thank you, George. We're going to turn now to the deadly UPS plane crash going down shortly after takeoff, erupting into a fireball. Alex Perez is near the scene in Louisville for us. Good morning, Alex.
Hey, good morning, Michael. We can't get close to the crash, but still very much an active scene. About 100 firefighters working through the night to extinguish that massive blaze. The plane headed to Hawaii with a full tank went down just moments after takeoff. Warning, the video might be tough to watch. This morning, the deadliest plane crash in UPS history. Dramatic images capturing the catastrophic plane crash in Kentucky that killed at least 9 people and injuring almost a dozen. Video showing a UPS plane taking off from Louisville's airport when one of its engines appears to be on fire. Then, the moment of impact.
There was a huge explosion, believed to be a plane crash, huge fire and smoke.
The plane, with 3 crew members on board, was carrying over 220,000 pounds of fuel, crashing just after takeoff Tuesday night.
The images in the video know how violent this crash is.
More than 100 firefighters battling the inferno, the fire spreading across a city block. UPS Air operations are headquartered in Louisville. Hundreds of their flights come and go from the airport every day. Data from Flight Radar 24 shows the 34-year-old plane was on its 3rd flight of the day and was reportedly out of service, likely for maintenance, for much of the last month, and again the day before the crash. Now, the NTSB and FAA leading the investigation into the crash and that left engine fire.
This was a major fire, which may have suggested a catastrophic failure of the engine that could have thrown hot parts into either the wing tanks or into the fuselage and started a fire while the aircraft was still on takeoff roll.
Authorities issuing a shelter in place as crews tried to clear the scene from hazardous fuel runoff. UPS saying in a statement overnight its heartfelt thoughts are with everyone involved, adding the company will work tirelessly with state and local authorities on response efforts. And one runway has reopened at Louisville's airport, and the shelter in place has been reduced to about a quarter of a mile. You can see that flag at half-staff behind me here. A tough day for so many here in Kentucky. Robin?
So many. All right, Alex, thank you. Now we have the latest on the government shutdown, day 36, setting a new record. Our senior political correspondent, Rachel Scott, is at the White House for us. Good morning, Rachel.
Robin, good morning to you. And this is now the longest government shutdown in American history. And it's affecting millions of Americans, from cuts to programs to delayed flights to federal workers now going 36 days without pay.
36 days in, and just hours after Democrats had a clean sweep in last night's election, President Trump this morning says the government shutdown was to blame.
We'd have a discussion after the press leaves about what last night represented and what we should do about it, and also about the shutdown and how that relates to last night. I think if you read the pollsters, the shutdown was a big factor, negative for the Republicans.
The impacts of the shutdown felt across the country. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy warning the U.S. may be forced to shut down parts of the airspace by next week due to air traffic control shortages.
You will see mass chaos. You will see mass flight delays. You'll see mass cancellations, and you may see us close certain parts of the airspace because we just cannot manage it.
And across the country, long lines outside food banks after federal food assistance for 42 million Americans was cut off. After a court order, the Trump administration said it would partially fund SNAP benefits. But the president prompting confusion, posting on social media, SNAP benefits will be given only when the radical left Democrats open up government. The White House clarifying to say the president meant future SNAP benefits and that they will comply with the order. Brianna Buckholton in Minnesota, a working mom of 6, including 3 foster children, relies on those benefits. She's already missed paying her rent this month.
Is this coming down to whether you're paying your rent or feeding your
children?
Like
right now I have a past due balance of $230 for our gas bill. And obviously gas is something that if it gets cut, we won't have hot water. We won't have the ability to cook this food that I stocked up on in the freezer.
And as federal workers prepare to miss another paycheck, the administration looking to pressure Democrats, threatening furloughed workers won't get back pay, despite a 2019 law signed by President Trump himself that guarantees it.
And just moments ago, we learned that Philadelphia International Airport has temporarily closed 2 security checkpoints due to this government shutdown. The president will be meeting with Senate Republicans here at the White House this morning. Over on Capitol Hill, there is a small group of Democrats and Republicans that are trying to figure out an end to this shutdown, but still no deal yet, George.
Not yet. Okay, Rachel, thanks very much. We're going to turn now to one of America's most iconic pizza chains. The parent company of Pizza Hut is looking at options for the struggling business. Could include selling it off. Sam's here with the details. Hey, Sam.
And George, what an American company this is. Pizza
Hut has been serving pie since its very first restaurant opened in Wichita, Kansas in 1958. And at one point, it was the top-selling pizza chain. Come on, you know the pepperoni, but not now. The brand is struggling. Sales are down 7% so far this year in the U.S. The industry analysts say part of the problem is Pizza Hut is known mainly as a dine-in restaurant, while most of us prefer to take our pizza out. Pizza Hut is international brand, though. It's huge, with 20,000 locations, more than 100 countries, including 6,500 restaurants right here in the U.S. The CEO of the parent company, Yum Brand, saying, and get this, Pizza Hut's performance indicates the need to take additional action to help the brand realize its full potential value, which may be better executed outside of Yum Brands. Meaning, guys, sure looks like Pizza Hut's for sale. And believe it or not, there is a lot of pizza news this morning. It looks like a deal to take Papa John's private has fallen apart. The private equity firm Apollo Global has reportedly withdrawn its bid, sending shares down 20% there. Papa John's expected to release a tough earnings report tomorrow because more of us are cutting our spending and buying less from quick-serve restaurants. Pizza delicious, but the business is hard.
Now I want pizza.
I know.
I want pizza.
100%.
Thank you.
That's all I can think about.
I know. That's it. Oh, pepperoni.
Oh. Well, now that they're for sale, there's one way you can buy it. You can win the Mega Million jackpot.
Oh,
yeah. And you know what? It just keeps getting bigger, Lara.
It does indeed, Michael. Well, good morning, everybody. And you are correct, sir. Another drawing and still no winner, which means the prize now jumps to an estimated $843 million, people. That is the 8th largest in game history. This was the 37th drawing since the jackpot was last won. That was in June, which means this is the longest streak without a jackpot winner since the game started more than 20 years ago. Now, if you're not a regular player, but you want to try your luck, you should know the price to play has gone up. $5 a ticket now. It went up earlier this year. But with the increase, listen though, with the increase, they say comes bigger prizes. And lottery officials also say better odds of winning.
But bigger prizes only matter if you win.
Correct.
I haven't won yet.
But you got to be in it to win it, baby.
Right, okay.
All right, we'll see, though, if the odds are in anyone's favor during the next drawing. That happens Friday night.
Right.
Even with the increased odds, it's still a major long shot. They say the odds of being a winner, roughly 290 million to 1.
Wow.
But you're saying we have a chance.
That's what they say. That's what they say. It's been a long time since anyone's won. Someone's due to do it.
Yeah. That's right.
Why couldn't it be us?
Can you spot me $5?
You got it, buddy.
All right.
Thank you, guys. Coming up, New York City Mayor-elect Zohran Mamdani is here talking about his historic victory that's only on GMA this morning.
And Sam, 50 days until Christmas.
Oh,
50.
Robin, it is never too early to get your holiday shopping on. But this year, we're going to look at the forecast for spending. And Scrooge, guys, isn't the only one with a tight wallet.
Plus, new at 7:30, we have the high-stakes hearing at the Supreme Court. But we still have a lot of show to go, so you stay right there, and we'll be right back.
Back here on GMA, Jordan Childs channeling Tina Turner, rocking out as Dancing with the Stars celebrated Rock and Roll Hall of Fame night. And we've got an exciting, exclusive news coming up. We're going to tell you the guest judge that's going to be making a big return to the ballroom. We'll find out who's getting behind the desk.
He almost gave it away.
He almost did.
All right. But first, new at 7:30, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth announced that the U.S. has conducted its 16th lethal strike against alleged drug traffickers, saying that the vessel was operated by a designated terrorist organization. 2 people were killed in the strike, which took place in international waters in the Eastern Pacific. Also, the Supreme Court will hear arguments today in a case challenging the legality of President Trump's global tariffs. If the tariffs are struck down, it would be a big blow to the president's economic agenda, and the U.S. could owe tens of billions of dollars in refunds to businesses. And World Series history could soon go on the auction block. An auction house has collected the home run balls that tied the game for the Dodgers in the bottom of the 9th and won it in the 11th inning of Game 7. Those home runs were caught by a father and his son and will be put up for auction once they're authenticated. Father and son. Wow. George, over to you.
Michael, I am here with the Mayor-elect of New York City, Zohran Mamdani. Congratulations. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you very much for having me.
You broke a lot of new ground last night. First Muslim mayor of New York, first Democratic Socialist, first mayor to win more than 1 million votes in, 3 decades, youngest mayor in more than a century. So what is the message and the mandate behind that?
The message is about transforming the most expensive city in the United States of America into one that's affordable for each and every New Yorker. And what New Yorkers across the 5 boroughs gave us last night was a mandate to pursue the most ambitious affordability agenda the city has seen since the days of Fiorello LaGuardia. And it's time that we start to deliver it.
Well, let's dig into that, because you're talking about a rent freeze, you're talking about free buses, you're talking about free childcare. Can you do that without raising taxes?
I think you can do that, and I think you have to raise taxes on the top 1% of New Yorkers who make more than $1 million a year, and you do that by raising taxes by them 2%. And then you also increase the corporate tax of New York State to match that of New Jersey. So that takes us from about 7.25 to about 11.5%, which is what we see in New Jersey. These things together raise about $9 billion, which more than pays for our economic agenda and also starts to Trump-proof our city.
But are you worried that could drive a lot of job creators out of New York?
So what I've heard from a number of business leaders is that the affordability crisis is also affecting their ability to attract and retain talent. The city's inability to provide childcare means that businesses often have to provide stipends for that childcare. Right now, the absence of universal childcare means that a family will pay around $22,500 a year, which is more money than many of them would spend if they sent that same kid to college 18 years later. And it is time for city government to actually step up to the responsibility that it has.
Not just the city government, that kind of a tax increase is going to require the state as well, including the governor, Kathy Hochul. Is she on board?
You know, I'm proud to have Governor Kathy Hochul's endorsement and the endorsement of our agenda, specifically universal childcare. And I've said time and again, I think these are the two most direct and straightforward ways to raise this revenue. If there are other ways to raise this funds, the most important thing is that we actually fund this agenda.
You said that President Trump was watching you last night. It appears that he was watching you. And it also appears that he and other Republicans are trying to make you the poster boy of the Democratic Party. Mike Johnson, the Speaker of the House, calls you a true extremist and a Marxist. And he says now every House Democrat incumbent and candidate will co-own Mamdani's disastrous record in the 2026 midterms. How do you respond to that?
Well, I'm looking forward to showing the power of an example here in New York City, an example of what it means to not just diagnose the despair in working people's lives as the cost of living crisis, but to deliver on it. And that's the contrast between myself and President Trump. He's someone who ran an entire presidential campaign on the promise of cheaper groceries and is now, as the president, making it harder for Americans to afford those groceries by cutting SNAP benefits.
You worried he's going to crack down on New York City, maybe even do what he's done and tried to do in Portland and other cities, call the National Guard in?
You know, I think that his threats are inevitable. I also know that it's time we actually call this for what it is. This has nothing to do with safety. It has to do with intimidation. If it was safety, President Trump would be threatening to deploy the National Guard to the top 10 states of crime, 8 out of which are all Republican-led, but because of that party, he won't actually be doing so.
So you say you won't be intimidated. How do you stand up to it?
I think there's a number of ways. The first thing is you actually utilize the courts. You stop treating things as being law just by virtue of the fact that President Trump is saying them. You can look at the example of California, where you find the Attorney General, the Governor, and the Mayor of LA coming together, filing a lawsuit in opposition to the deployment of the National Guard. A federal judge found in their favor, and the Attorney General estimated that for every dollar they spent, they recovered more than $30,000 in funds that would have otherwise been seized by the federal government.
How about crime? Have you convinced Commissioner Tisch to stay on the police commissioner?
You know, I've made my decision to retain Commissioner Tisch, and I've done so because Eric Adams had stacked the upper echelons of the NYPD with incompetence and corruption. She came in, started to tackle that, deliver accountability, and reduce crime across the 5 boroughs. That is what we would build upon under a Mamdani administration, in addition to creating a Department of Community Safety to tackle the mental health and homelessness crisis head on.
You've made your decision. Has she made hers?
I am looking forward to continue to having conversations with her and to assembling a government of the best and the brightest to deliver on this agenda.
You know, last night you also said you wanted to reach out to New Yorkers who didn't vote for you. Probably highest on that list is Jewish New Yorkers. It looks like there was about a 30-point gap, according to the exit polls, between you and former Governor Cuomo. How do you convince those voters that your vision of New York includes them and your victory is not a threat to them?
You know, I was on the M57 not too long ago, which is the slowest bus in New York City, 4.9 miles an hour. And I was seated next to a woman who introduced herself to me as a speech therapist. And she told me that she was Jewish, and she said that her daughter is a huge fan in phone banks from college and that she wasn't so sure. And I asked her to share, and she shared her thoughts about what it also means to be Jewish in New York City today and the scourge of anti-Semitism that often worries her, that she was trying to sell her apartment. A realtor told her to put away, in her words, the Jewish books on her bookshelf. And I told her that this was unacceptable, that we were fighting for a city that didn't just protect Jewish New Yorkers, but celebrated and cherished those same New Yorkers. And I'm looking forward to being the mayor for every single person that calls the city home and showing that my job is not to remake City Hall in my image, but rather in the image of struggling New Yorkers. And that means New Yorkers will find themselves and their struggles in people who have decision-making power across my administration.
You said a lot of that during the campaign, but it didn't seem to work with this group of voters. What more can you do now?
Well, I think there are a lot of voters for whom the trust comes from the actions that you actually take. Many have, have understandably been disappointed by politics and the promises that have been made by many before me. Now, my opportunity is actually to deliver as the next mayor of the city.
I was struck by a tweet that came out last night on Next from Bill Ackman, who was one of your biggest opponents in the campaign. Billionaire, spent a lot of money trying to defeat you, but he did congratulate you and say he wants you to call on him to help New York. What are you going to call on him to do?
Well, I appreciated his words, and I think what I find is that there is a needed commitment from leaders of the city to speak and work with anyone who is committed to lowering the cost of living in the city, and that's something that I will fulfill.
Thanks for coming in this morning.
Thank you so much.
Back with a countdown to Christmas, 50 days to go. You got our shopping forecast, Sam?
Let's put that shopping forecast to work right now. The season of giving, guys, is the most wonderful time of the year, but we are feeling a little tight in the wallet this year. Tariffs and inflation are now changing the way we shop and spend.
With just 50 days to go, this morning, box up the scary stuff and unpack the holiday. People showing off their holiday spirit online while counting down to Christmas. According to the National Retail Federation, this year, Americans are planning to spend around $890 per person to buy holiday gifts, food, decor, and more. But that number is actually less than last year, when U.S. shoppers spent a record $902 each person. The largest slice of the holiday spending pie, gifts. More than 600 of those dollars expected to go toward presents for others. And with the government shutdown, inflation, and tariffs weighing heavy on so many, consumers are searching for deals, and you can find them.
We found that consumers are embracing discount stores as a part of their shopping list this year. They are prioritizing big box retailers and dollar stores while having less interest in outlet stores and e-commerce sites.
Some retailers looking to entice shoppers are offering super early Black Friday savings. Starting tomorrow through Saturday, Target has up to 40% off of select holiday decor and lights, and 50% off select toys. Wayfair also has deals, 70% off of cookware, Christmas trees, furniture, and more.
And you guys are using AI to shop. Over half the people recently surveyed by Bank of America say they plan to use AI for their holiday shopping. The biggest reason is to find the inexpensive gift ideas.
Oh, good idea. That's smart.
Yeah.
Good way to do it. Well, you know, before we can get there, you know, Thanksgiving is
before that, right?
Let us not forget.
And you have some great meal deals for us.
Much to be thankful for in this department, Michael. That's right. We are 22 days away from Thanksgiving, so it is time to start thinking about those dinner plans and where to get the best deals. And we've done some of that legwork for you. For example, Target is out with their new meal deal. This morning, it offers a meal for 4 people for less than $20 total. Wow. That includes turkey, potatoes, cranberry sauce, stuffing mix, gravy, French bread, and corn. Robin, I looked it up. I had the same reaction. It's real, and it's only one option out there. Another great option comes from Amazon, also offering a meal that feeds 5 for $25. That will get you 8 separate items. Walmart has an even bigger deal. This one serves 10 people for less than $40. Do the math, guys, and you get 15 items. And we really liked this one, Aldi. That's a popular discount supermarket chain. They offer 26 items to feed 10 people for $40. This includes ingredients and spices for your meal. Check these out soon. There are some great options to have an enjoyable Thanksgiving out there.
Great deal.
Yeah. Challenging times.
Challenging times, and this really helps.
More than ever. We are so happy to bring you this play of the day, the inspirational story of a dad who started a food pantry in his front yard. Please, Will, share this with everyone.
This is really lovely, Robin, and good morning to everyone. We have been covering the pressure that food pantries and food banks have been under amid the government shutdown and the uncertainty surrounding SNAP benefits for millions of Americans. In this case, one Pittsburgh man has taken matters into his own hands to help his neighbors and perhaps inspire others.
My kids and I woke up this Steelers Sunday and decided to do something good. My boys and I started a food pantry.
That food pantry sits right on A.J. Owen's front yard in Pittsburgh, filling a need in the community as food assistance shrinks for millions of Americans due to the government shutdown.
I had one person say, oh, well, I have enough for 1 or 2 days, so when that's gone, I'll come over. And I said, no,
come now.
It started with a $150 grocery store run and with an old tote box that used to hold Christmas lights, putting the pantry together with help from his 2 young sons and sharing it all online.
We got our list here. Thank you to my 7-year-old. Salad dressing, vegetables.
The posts garnering millions of views on TikTok, his neighbors taking note and giving back too.
Are you kidding me? There's no name. It just says, may God prosper and bless your food pantry. We're really not letting people go hungry, man. My body started shaking. I started crying. And this was the best cry ever because whatever you want to believe, an angel truly, came down and blessed us that day. And we've been doing good ever since.
AJ creating a ripple effect of kindness in the Steel City.
People need to eat. People deserve to be fed. It's no different than me inviting you over to my house for dinner. Come on, grab a meal, grab a drink, whatever you need. I'm here.
AJ is here, whatever you need. He says he thinks he's helped over 100 families. He was shopping recently. He saw a couple of women in the store. They saw what he was buying. He explained what it was for, and they just gave him $100 right there in the store to help out and pay it forward. And if you are in need of food assistance or you want to help out, use the QR code on the screen. You can find resources in your area. It's great to see people helping their community.
Yeah.
It never ceases to amaze during these kind of times when people step up.
And I love that we have a QR code to get involved.
Yeah.
You guys can step up too.
Yep.
And we're doing that as well.
Yep.
And we're going to share that in the coming days, what we're doing to try and help. We'll be right back.
Good morning, America. It's 8 a.m. Overnight, a new wave sweeps into office, including 2 new Democratic governors joining us live this morning. Virginia's Abigail Spanberger and Mikey Sherrill in New Jersey.
Drop the mic as we celebrate 20 years of dancing. We're exclusively revealing next week's guest judge that will take you back to the beginning.
Exclusive savings. Oprah's favorite things. Takeover deals and steals.
Shop them first, only on GMA with Tory, of course.
Get out your holiday shopping list. And class is back in session.
Morning, y'all. I did get finer. We don't have to talk about it.
Abbott Elementary's Janelle James is here live as we say, Good Morning, America.
Live from ABC News headquarters in New York City, it's Wednesday. Good Morning, America.
Good Morning, America. It is a good song. Get you moving. We know Oprah, she sent us a holiday gift. Yes, deals and steals from the 29th annual Oprah's Favorite Things list. This morning, Tory Johnson is teaming up with Oprah Daily's Adam Glassman to bring us huge savings on great gifts. That is coming up.
Always good to have Adam here in the studio with us with Tory. Also had, did you see this? A new headline about melatonin causing concern among some. You have got to stay around for this. Dr. Tara Narula is going to be here with a reality check.
Yeah, a lot of people have questions about that. First, look at the top stories breaking today. We start with the results of Election Day. Democrats won 3 high-profile races, including Democrats Mikey Sherrill and Abigail Spanberger winning the governor's races in New Jersey and Virginia. Both are joining us live. Let's start with the governor-elect of New Jersey, Mikey Sherrill. Congratulations, Governor-elect Sherrill. You also made history. I was talking to Zohran Mamdani before about all the history he made. You're the first governor to win a 3rd term for their party since, I think, 1961. What fueled the victory?
So a lot of hard work. I started the campaign like I always start campaigns, listening to thousands of New Jerseyans and what was on their minds, and it was affordability, it was housing, healthcare, utility costs. And so I built back that juggernaut, that big Democratic coalition that I've always worked with of white working class suburbs and Black and Latino voters across the state. So it's remarkable when you look at the numbers, the swing in Hudson by about 22 points, Passaic by about 18 points. And remember, Trump won Passaic. And then you look at Gloucester and Morris County. Those are kind of the more Republican suburbs. I won both of those counties. So we've seen just an incredible, I think, group of people coming together in New Jersey around those key issues. And remember, those are the communities, I think, that are so focused on good government. things like making sure kids have access to a great education, that there are great job opportunities across the state, and that's what I'm focused on.
You said the president's name before I did. Was this vote a referendum on President Trump?
I certainly think his attacks on our economy. So when it comes to the tariffs, which are putting small businesses out of business, freezing hiring in our larger businesses and starting to see layoffs, the one big beautiful bill taking health care away from so many people and then creating such high cost in health care, 175% increase on premiums that are, making it unaffordable for so many. And then up north, the Gateway Tunnel, that is the biggest project of national significance. That could be about 100,000 jobs, many good union jobs here in New Jersey, and the president's threatened to terminate it.
Can you stop him?
Well, it's illegal. That's money that Congress has appropriated to that project. So I will certainly be in court working hard to stop him and also working with people in the administration, because this is such a key economic investment to an area of the country that produces about 20% of the nation's GDP. And given how poor the economy under this administration is doing, I think we see 22 states in recession. I really want to make the case that, look, if we are going to create some economic success, New Jersey is the place to do it.
Your neighbor here in New York City, Zohran Mamdani, won a big win as well. Democratic Socialist. You're a centrist Democrat. Is there going to be a fight going on over the future of the Democratic Party?
I think the fight is going to be how to deliver for people. And certainly, I'm declaring a state of emergency on day one to freeze rate hikes on utilities. I'm working hard to deliver health care to people as both the federal government's attacking it, and we see too many people that don't have quality and affordable health care. Cutting through red tape and permitting at the state level so people can have access to great small businesses, great jobs. But then at the federal level, taking on the federal government for all the programs that they are refusing to run now, when our state gives $70 billion more to the federal government in taxes than we get back. So that's going to be a constant focus. And certainly working with Mamdani, the soon-to-be mayor of New York City, working with Governor Hochul, the governor of New York, is going to be important as we build out our preparation for the FIFA World Cup, for the 250th anniversary of our nation. So New Jersey feels like the center of it all, and I'm really excited about what we have coming up.
Governor-elect Cheryl, thanks for your time this morning. Michael?
All right, thank you, Joy. Joining us now is the governor-elect of Virginia, Abigail Spanberger, who made history as the first woman elected governor of the state. Congratulations, governor-elect, and welcome to GMA. And you said last night, we sent a message. Why do you think you won, and what message did you send?
We sent a message that voters want someone who is responsive to their needs, to their priorities, to their concerns. And certainly since the earliest days that I have been campaigning, I have heard all across the Commonwealth about the impact of rising costs in healthcare, housing, and energy, the worries that parents like myself have about the future of our kids, wanting to ensure that our public schools are strong. And then ultimately our economy has faced some real headwinds and some hurdles, particularly as it relates to the DOGE impacts, which hurt hundreds of thousands of Virginians, those who lost their jobs, obviously, and those who felt under threat. And now that we are in this government shutdown that is impacting federal workers, more than 320,000 of whom call Virginia home, government contractors, and our entire economy, I think it was a very clear message that Virginians want a governor who will not only stand up for them, for our jobs, for our economy, but also lay out clear plans to really impact and address the issues that matter to them and the things that keep them up at night.
And obviously your campaign resonated with voters out there. Do you feel like your campaign is the model for how Democrats should run in 2026?
Well, I think we certainly did fantastic things on the ground. We were everywhere across the Commonwealth. We had an incredible field operation of people engaging voters. We got started really early, making sure that every community and every potential voter knew what it was that I am for, why it is that I'm asking for their vote. And we built out such a broad coalition of support. That's why we had such a strong and significant margin of victory. It's why we flipped so many localities that had voted for the president 3 times over, flipped to vote for me this year. And so I think that we certainly did a lot of things right, but most importantly, we focused on Virginia. I focused on Virginia relentlessly, standing up for Virginia and pushing out policies that will impact the lives of Virginians.
And another big winner last night was Zohran Mamdani here in New York City. You ran much different campaigns, but what did you think of his victory? And do you think he's part of the future of the Democratic Party?
I think ultimately what I'm hearing from people all across Virginia is that they want someone who's going to deliver for them, who's going to be responsive. And so I think any candidate who's being responsive to the needs of their constituents, certainly my dear friend Mikey Sherrill had an extraordinary win in New Jersey demonstrating just that as well, that is what matters to voters. And the next piece of judgment is what we are able to deliver. Certainly, I think the message in Virginia is that we chose pragmatism, focused, hardworking leadership with an intent to deliver on the promises that I've made to people. I pushed out very clear plans on the steps that I plan to take, both in concert with our General Assembly, where we had some extraordinary wins as well, and through my gubernatorial administration. And so here in the Commonwealth, the path forward is to continue on. We had the electoral success, and now we need to have the success in governance, which that is the real mark of whether or not we deliver for the people who put their faith in me as their candidate. And that's what I'm excited to start doing, both today and then ultimately once I'm sworn in come January.
And earlier you mentioned the government shutdown and how that has affected so many federal workers, others there in Virginia. And I know you called on Congress, Republicans and Democrats and our president to make real progress on bringing this shutdown to an end. That's what you said last night in your speech. So what do you want your fellow Democrats in Congress to do now?
I want everyone to come to the table and to be very clear. At this moment, what we need is a president of the United States who actually wants to have a functioning government. And in my ideal scenario, we would have a president who would pull people together, bring people around the table, and move us through this impasse. In the absence of that, it falls on everyone else within the halls of Congress, Democrats and Republicans, to get to a deal that will reopen the government. Virginians are suffering. We have government contractors, and those are the folks who are custodial staff in so many of our federal buildings, the cafeteria staff in so many of our federal buildings. They will never be made whole for this time that they have spent home from work. Government contractors across the board, federal workers, the impact is real on Virginians. And as governor, I'm going to push everybody to come to the table and to solve this.
Yeah, I can agree. The impact is real. Governor-elect Spanberger, thank you so much for your time this morning. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Robin?
And George, what's your main takeaway from the election results from last night?
Well, it goes to what I was talking to Rick about, I think, in the first half hour. Voters are wanting change. Right now in the country, American billionaires are doing great. Mm-hmm. Millionaires are doing pretty well as well. But middle class and working class Americans are struggling with these big questions of affordability. And that was the through line in all the winning elections last night.
And now the economy.
Absolutely.
It kept coming back to that.
Sure did.
We'll be right back.
Morning here in New York. We're going to get right to pop news with Lara.
Yeah, let's do it, George. Good morning, everybody. We're going to start with last night's Dancing with the Stars. They celebrated the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and here are the highlights. Okay. Whitney Levitt, Mark Ballas, wow, they can dance. Wow. They took home the top score after their performance. They chose Ozzy Osbourne's No More Tears. Not easy, but they nailed it. Wow. Also performing quite well, Alex Earle and her partner Val, always. They got one of the top individual scores with 3 10s. As always, one couple unfortunately does have to go. This week it was Boy Meets World star Danielle Fishel and her partner Pasha. I know she's so lovely. Such a fun team to watch, but their contemporary dance to Dream On by Aerosmith just didn't make the cut. Afterwards, though, Danielle told us that this experience has been life-changing. Turns out next week the show is gearing up for a very special 20th anniversary episode. Right now, we will exclusively reveal the guest judge coming to join the panel. Making his return to the ballroom. It is the one and only Tom
Hey, look, it's National Donut Day.
Oh, is it?
And this is what I do now. I have to be at the Today Show in 20 minutes. Move this.
I tell you what, if we couldn't love you enough, you bring donuts. We love you even more.
By the way, don't eat the little mirror balls. They're not munchkins.
Oh, it's a good tip.
Good note.
Good to see you.
Good to see all of you.
What a surprise.
I figure every 5 years I'll just stop by.
Yes. Well, I'm glad you're now the Donut King of
Yeah,
America.
Donut King, yes.
But how good does it feel to be back in the ballroom?
It feels really good. I'm really looking forward to it. I have to credit Conrad Green, who was my original showrunner back in
the day
2005. He really kind of extended the olive branch and got me reminiscing about all the fond memories. And so, yeah, I'm looking forward to getting back.
And you said 2005. It's amazing. 20th anniversary.
Yeah, well, congratulations on your 50th.
Thank you. Thank you.
I mean, we're just kids compared to
Well, you know, you're doing all right, though. 20 years is a long time, but why do you think this show is just so special?
Well, look, I think 20 years of any primetime show is amazing. For a show 20 years old to also be having a ratings resurgence as they are, you're more likely to see a zebra playing the piano than for that to happen. And I really think it's a credit to my buddy and the team kind of getting it back to its essence.
I agree.
And
how do you handicap this season?
Oh, I'm not here to tell you that.
Come on.
There are a couple of definite front runners.
Yeah.
I think when you look at Alex and Robert, you have to. But when you look at the heart of the show, you look at, Andy. I mean, I was watching last night, and I thought, I get to judge Andy next week. I hadn't thought that. Yeah, I would expect that.
He's doing really well.
But he epitomizes what I always thought the show was at its best, because technique alone is robotic. But when you bring passion to it, enthusiasm, and just a charming personality, that can make up for a lot.
And you see somebody who was not a dancer really diving in. I love that.
Jumping in and doing it. Yeah, no. Where were you when I needed you? Thank you. Thank you for that. I didn't.
Tom, I gotta give you a big hug. We love you so much. I'm so glad you came back.
Thank
it's
you, my
so
dear.
good to see you.
Thank you.
And we want to thank you for the donuts, and we also want to thank I'm Donut here in New York City. I'm not a donut. That's the name of the company. Thank you guys for those delicious donuts. Do check them out, everyone. They are gorgeous and delish. And Dancing with the Stars, also delish, airing Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern, right here on ABC, Disney Plus, streaming the next day on Hulu. That's a lot to
That's
remember.
a lot. I'm glad you had to say it.
We're going to head over to Ginger.
Oh, can I get a hug too,
Yes.
Tom? Please.
Oh,
I miss
look
you.
at
Great to see you.
Good to see you,
The ultimate host, everybody. Cannot wait to see it.
Time for Deals and Steals, all about Oprah's favorite things, celebrating 29 years of that exclusive list. Tory Johnson, Oprah Daily Creative Director, Adam Glassman, both here. Adam, always a pleasure. Please
Always
get
a
us
pleasure.
started.
We're going to start with the first thing Oprah picked on the list.
Oh.
This is the most fabulous stain remover. It's
I will
called
also say the
Stingray.
most unexpected
The
thing on the
most
list.
unexpected. She went to a play. She got
Right.
chocolate on her white pants. And the costume designer came out and said, I'm going to get that out. 1, 2, 3. It works with Stingray. I have used it on pet stains on carpets. It really works beautifully and simple.
Most practical gift you could give
Yep.
somebody, right? That
Exactly.
they're gonna thank you all year long. 2 different sizes, all 50% off.
Cannot beat
Amazing.
that.
Okay,
All right.
this is very cool.
I've heard
this
about
is
this.
nesting cookware from Alba. You get all of these pieces. So you get a stock pot and a saucepan and a fry pan, lids, a strainer, and then it packs up like this, stacks like this.
All of that is there.
All of that is in here, yes,
Wow.
for easy storage, because not all of us have cabinet spaces, and it really eliminates cabinet chaos, as I like to call it.
And also amazing for someone who doesn't cook a lot, doesn't have a lot of space. Brilliant, and it's 50% off for the whole set under $100.
Cabinet
Really smart.
chaos be gone.
Yeah, exactly.
Now,
All right.
Oprah really believes that you should never leave your house without hand cream. It's true, especially
That's
in the
true.
winter.
That's true.
McAvoy Ranch does some of the most delicious, wonderful hand cream.
Smells
it's
so good.
based with olive oil
Oh,
because
my
it's made
gosh.
in Northern California at a working olive ranch.
Oh, my God.
Isn't that great? This
It
is their
is.
day. It really reminds you of like walking through an olive grove. The scents are all intoxicating. There's lavender and there's citrus, and then we have a whole bunch of other stuff, including their olive oil and shower gels and bath oils. This is a fabulous line, and it comes packaged like this, ready to gift.
I also feel like this is something that they don't already have.
Yeah.
And so it makes such a gorgeous gift. All 50% off. The prices are phenomenal. They start at $14.
And it's
Isn't
not
that nice?
overpowering.
Not overpowering
That
at
scent is
all.
so good.
Exactly.
Zoya.
Zoya nail lacquers are really at the best spas and salons everywhere. And you know what? We asked them to curate a pack just for us.
Beautiful. Look
Perfect
at
colors for a clean, wonderful manicure. So this is something that you will wear day and night. No wacky colors. You're just like, this is just perfect all the time. And nail treatment. Then we have a nice selection of a lot of their other treatments and sort of mini packs right here.
All gorgeous.
Yeah.
And again, something everyone can use, might not already have. 50% off. They start at $6. Really sweet packaging,
I know,
too.
it is. Closes very nicely.
You can never go wrong with a
Amazing
candle. I'm a
candle.
big believer in that. Linnea does some of the most luxurious hand-poured here in the United States soy wax. That one is the heirloom tomato.
I had to look.
I know.
It is.
Smell
this one.
one's
This
so
is
delicious.
mint, crushed mint.
Oh, this
I
is
love
what-
burning these in the kitchen because after you cook, they're wonderful.
Oh,
this one is
one's
great.
amazing.
Oh, yeah. Sam likes this one. Smell this one. It's
She's-
wonderful.
You're right about that, Sam.
It
Yeah.
is.
You can't
Beautiful
go wrong.
sizes. You can't go wrong.
Every scent is magnificent on these.
Every.
Like really, truly.
Intoxicating.
It's hard to pick a favorite. At first it's tomato, then it's mint.
I love the
Sam's got his
cashmere one
favorite.
too, which is
They're all
really good.
fabulous.
Yes,
And
yeah.
you know what? They're all 50% off.
Can't beat that, all right?
Exactly.
Tomato, hey.
Speaking of cashmere, Robin, I want you to feel this from Haven Well Within. Oprah loves cargo pants and she loves cashmere.
Oh, my
So when she
goodness.
saw these joggers, she said we have to have these on the list. Look how chic they are.
They are
Beautiful
cool.
neutral
Oh, my
colors. They look great with flats and sneakers.
You can dress up, dress down.
Exactly. Thank you. Day
I
and
heard from
night.
the peanut gallery over there.
What do they say? What's
Yeah.
Sarah saying? Yeah.
Gorgeous.
They are. They're
I heard that
totally
voice.
gorgeous. And you can style them with their sweaters and their cashmere hats, and they have cotton blend tops. Everything is soft and cozy and perfect.
Oh my gosh.
Isn't that a great color?
It is great.
I know.
And has structure to it. Also,
And they have
'cause- yeah,
structure.
because
They're
sometimes
very
it's-
flattering. I love Haven Well Within.
So do I.
What's the
and
deal?
you
What's
guys
the
are
deal?
going to too because everything is 50% off on this. And we should mention, we don't just have these, but Adam's coming back on
Friday.
yes.
We've got more, so we're going to keep it going with
Yeah,
his favorite
we
thing.
are.
Adam, thank you for always thinking of us.
Oh, of
we
course.
truly
Thank you.
appreciate that. And we have partnered with these companies on these great products. You can get them at gmadeals.com. And you'll be back on Friday.
Yes, I will.
First of all, Ava is here. She's signing the
she's
wall.
signing the wall.
And she'll be here on GMA when we come back. I love
Welcome back to GMA, live from New York City.
You don't want to know. We say this all the time. You don't want to know what goes on.
Well, they do want to know.
Yeah, they do. You actually do. We are back now with actress, stand-up comedian Janelle James. You know her from the role as Principal Ava Coleman on Abbott Elementary. And Janelle, it's so good to have you here.
Yeah. Thank
we
you.
always enjoy your time here.
So great to be back and teased by you.
Exactly. It's like y'all grown up. I always refer to the first time in our old studio. You had big eyes and you were like, oh, and you come down.
That's how I was.
But it was just, we know how much you
I
have paid
understand.
your dues.
Thank you
paid
so
your
much.
dues. Okay, let's talk about this season.
Yes.
Because your character, oh my gosh, let's say has been a little self-centered over the season. Yes. But now you're in a committed relationship.
Yes.
Are you still going to be that
Yes.
same kind of?
That started last season. So Ava has a new love. There we are. Has a new love interest, and so that's been pivotal in her a little personality change. You know.
So we are going to see her personality change this year.
Yeah, a little softer. Little.
Exactly.
So that's been nice.
We don't want to change too much because it's a good character to the other characters.
Some of the best comedic moments of the show.
She's still herself, just in a relationship. So I love that.
Well, we got a sneak peek, exclusive. We're going to call it exclusive sneak peek at tonight's episode. Let's check it out.
Make the noise and maybe we could diagnose it.
Yeah, it was,
Yeah, I don't know anything about cars. Yeah, I don't know either.
Gregory, stop making broken brake caliper noises and pay attention. Although it does sound like your bushes are about to go. Now, as discussed, Abbott will be participating in the district's new phones initiative, and here to tell us more about that is this lady.
It's Emily. You know me.
Okay, if you say so.
So
naughty.
I mean, what's such a well-written character? Well, yeah, obviously Ava would know about cars.
Look, that's one of the amazing things about her. She knows so much about so many different things.
But she has, I guess she had all kind of these jobs and many skills.
Jobs and side hustles and she's a low-key nerd, but she doesn't want to. She's a cool nerd, but she doesn't want to admit it. She's street smart.
But before you got into comedy, you had a bunch of.
I did.
Okay, do you have a favorite odd job that you had before comedy?
Oh, I just remember this the other day. One thing I do have in common with Ava, I used to DJ here in New York in different lounges.
Oh, I wish I had seen that.
Not to age myself, but with vinyl, you know.
Oh.
Yeah, so I did that for a couple of years at different like lounges and.
Oh, look, there you are doing it.
Yeah.
But did you have a DJ name?
Oh, it was, it was Chanel No. 5 because the guy at my first, DJ No. 5 because the guy at the first place I DJ'd, he was French, and I said Janelle, and he said, oh, like Chanel No. 5, DJ No. 5, and I was like, sure.
So I want to just switch gears back to the show for a minute. If you watch it, you know you guys pay such homage to the city of Philadelphia and their sports teams. We've seen both the Philly Fanatic on the show and my beloved Flyers, the Gritty.
Yes.
He's been on GMA also, by the way.
What a mix of...
Listen, we dig deep when you guys come on. We love it. I was wondering, who did you enjoy working with more?
I can't say that. I can't say that. They're both equally weird looking and,
come on,
and equally weird kind. I don't know what they are, but yeah, they are. But no, they were both like so. I want to say kind, but they don't speak, you know. But
they honk.
Yeah, we're great in their parts, you know. Showed up and did the thing, and no, I don't have a favorite. I'm hoping Ellie the elephant comes in, and I know that's not Philly, but that's my dream. If we're gonna have another, Ellie comes in.
Ellie.
Yeah, so that would be cool. Yeah. Now that's an elephant. I know that.
The other two unclear.
Stand-up comedy. This morning I was just watching, going back.
How
far. Because you're so good at it, honestly,
Thank you so much.
and very different when you're doing stand-up than you are in your character. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah. Sam went into the archives.
He's telling me some of your old stuff. It's
so
funny.
I'm flattered and also like, oh my God. So, I'm way, I would say, not network television, you know, in my stand-up, but equally as hilarious.
Now, you actually do have a comedy special in the works, though,
I do.
right?
I have a Netflix special that I'm going to be filming in the spring, and it should be out in the fall. And so I get to, if people haven't seen me in that way, get to prove that I'm, funny in all types of different ways.
And go see it.
Show where I got these skills.
Didn't you just do a show recently?
You just do a show recently? Oh yeah. During our last hiatus, I did a tour to get ready to shoot this special. So I'll be, around.
Yeah. It's hard to do because you guys shoot for 8 months.
Yes, we do. Yeah, 22 episodes. Wow. So right now we're halfway through 11. We're at number 11. A lot of people don't know that we're shooting as the show goes on, and so when you're like, oh, how did you get that current slang or what the kids are saying into the show? It's because we just shot it. So yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. Me too.
That just makes it
fresh.
Thank you for continuing to bring up the joy.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Lives. Thank you, Janelle. And Abbott Elementary airs tonight every Wednesday, 8:30 p.m. right here on ABC. Come on, I just met the person who brought us I'm Donuts. So, come on. I mean, huge. But we're back with details on the deal that's being negotiated to lower the cost of some popular weight loss drugs. Elizabeth Schulze is at the White House, has those details for us. Good morning to you, Elizabeth.
Hey, good morning to you, Robin. Sources tell us this deal could lower the cost of some popular drugs like Zepbound and Wegovy. Under this pending agreement between the Trump administration and drug makers, the cost could be cut to roughly $149 a month, and it could be covered by Medicare for some people. Right now, they're about $4.99 a month without insurance. Drug makers Eli Lilly, Novo Nordisk haven't confirmed these details yet. The White House says no deals have been officially announced, and right now it's still speculation. But sources say that these drugs would be offered through Trump RX, which is a new government-run website expected to launch next year, where consumers can get medications directly from manufacturers. Prescriptions that you get there, though, still might not be cheaper than when you get them through your own insurance. Michael.
All right, thank you so much, Elizabeth. And now to a health alert on melatonin in your heart. Chief medical correspondent Dr. Tara Narula is here with a reality check, and she's going to break down this headline. Doc, please tell us about this headline.
Yeah.
That's been a topic of conversation.
It
Big
has.
topic.
You may have woken up and seen it all over the news, on the internet, and I'm really glad we're talking about this because this is something that really does bother me a little bit as a physician and a journalist. And I think we need to explain what an abstract is. So this study that people have seen floating around is an abstract that's going to be presented at the American Heart Association meeting next week that says that melatonin may be linked to heart failure. Now, Michael, an abstract is extremely preliminary science. It has not been peer-reviewed. It has not been published. Only about 50% of abstracts go on to be published. And while some abstracts really have a foundation rooted in great science and they shine the spotlight on a finding that's going to be very important, some abstracts have real problems in their methods, their statistics, and their data. And so essentially what's being put out there may have no validity at all. When you look at abstracts getting accepted to medical meetings, again, different medical meetings have different criteria. Some may be more stringent, some less stringent. So Michael, you could write an abstract that says blueberries cause cancer, and maybe your abstract might make it into some medical meeting. And when you look at the meetings themselves, they have a vested interest in getting publicity, right? They're going to want to bring in sponsors for the meetings, funding agencies and investigators, all of that. So, you know, I think we have to take this for a grain of salt. And the problem I have, and I think the big issue, is that once this gets out there, it becomes clickbait. And unfortunately, it is detrimental to the American public who may be reading things and changing what they're doing, or now becoming afraid or going into their doctor's office and saying, I stopped doing this. And so we need to really get the science validated first before things spread like wildfire. And that's why I'm really glad that here at ABC News, we're talking about this and we have higher standards than just putting things out there that may be preliminary.
Because people see a headline and they go take it as fact.
Correct.
And then they read a story, they take it as fact, even
That's
though,
right.
as you said, it's very, very preliminary. But what do we know about melatonin?
So melatonin is a natural hormone produced in the pineal gland in the brain. It's triggered by darkness. It's part of that circadian rhythm that we talk about. Many people in this country use it over the counter. It is not prescribed here as a prescription drug as it is outside this country. It is not, because it is over the counter, it is regulated like a supplement, meaning it's not really regulated by the FDA.
Yeah.
So there can be issues with safety or efficacy or quality there. And there have been no long-term safety studies on melatonin. That being said, it can be helpful for jet lag, shift work, and helping maybe you fall asleep. It is not really so helpful for chronic insomnia or to keep you asleep.
All right, Doc, thank you. As always, you always come with the great information. We always appreciate you keeping us updated on everything.
And we're going to turn now to actor Tom Felton. We have known him for years as Draco Malfoy in the Harry Potter movies.
And now he's getting ready to play that same role as an adult, making his Broadway debut in Harry Potter, The Cursed Child. We're so happy to see you. Were you like 10 years old there?
It was a while back. I didn't see the picture, yes.
It was very cute.
It's nearly 30 years ago that I did the first Harry Potter film.
So first, you're making your Broadway debut and in a role that's been such a huge part of your life.
Yes.
Talk to me about sort of taking that all in, and it's about to happen, my friend.
It's a dream come true. I still think this is some sort of elaborate prank that someone's going to jump out and tell me that, that it's all been for show. But no, it's a dream come true. Obviously, I'm not only to call myself a New York resident, but to be doing my first Broadway performance in a character's shoes that I know fairly well.
Yeah, I mean,
that's fantastic.
Truly, this is you. You created this character. I mean, I see you in this character, so it's going to be perfect to see you on Broadway.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, I helped shape it definitely as a kid, but this time he has a son, he's a dad, so I'm taking on all sorts of parental duties as a Malfoy, which has been fun.
What was it, just like sort of putting on that great favorite pair of shoes to get back into the role?
I won't lie, a little bit. Yeah, so every day when we're rehearsing, I look down and see my shoes and go, they look familiar. And it's a kind of a blast from the past, but also sort of treading the character in a completely new journey and adventure, which has been fun.
And a new medium. I mean, I can't believe this is your first time on Broadway.
Yes.
I know you've done shows.
Yes.
But this is a big scale.
Yes, I have learnt this. It's such an amazing company in front of the house and behind, and the actors and people that I get to work with. They're incredibly good at what they do. So I've been learning fast.
And one of your co-stars, way back when, Daniel Radcliffe.
Yes, of course.
Is also on Broadway.
Yes.
You guys will overlap. Have you discussed, gotten together?
I've taken a few tips from Potter. This is true. No, he's one.
That even sounded evil.
I won't lie, it does feel good to say it. No, he was one of the early inspirations for me to come to Broadway. I saw him, I think, on his first show, what was it, 10 plus years ago? And now he's obviously a Tony winner and a big inspiration for the reason why Broadway is so special.
Could you see this becoming more of a permanent home?
Well, we'll ask the bosses the power to be. I mean, I have fallen in love with New York. I've only been here for 4 weeks, so I don't know all the lay of the land yet, but I can see why everyone is so infectiously in love with this
You
city.
brought a little piece of home with you. We just met your mom, Sharon.
I did.
Where do we have her?
Hi, Mom.
I love that your mom came into the studio. I tried to get some embarrassing information
I
from
saw
you.
it. I saw it.
And about you from her, but she wouldn't give. She just said you're the youngest of four. She's evolved.
It's nice to have a bit of a home cooking when you move to a new place. So I've been spoiled with some home classics.
And also, like a true New Yorker, you have your dogs here.
I do, yes. I brought my 2 dogs with me, and they are settling into the concrete jungle. But
it's tricky figuring out where to walk them.
Yeah.
That's one of the tips.
The hardest thing, Willow, is she's just obsessed with food. And when you walk the streets of New York, there's always half a slice of something on the... So there's been a few times she's like dragged me across the... So I keep a tight leash on her.
It is true, it is true. Hey, listen, congratulations and welcome to New York. Tom Felton.
Thank you so
Tom
much.
joined the cast of Harry Potter and the Cursed Child on Broadway November 11th through May 10th. Do not miss it. Coming up, Pulitzer and Emmy-winning journalist Mirta Ojito talks about her new book, Deeper Than the Ocean. Stay with us on GMA.
We are back with Emmy and Pulitzer Prize-winning journalist Mirta Ojito. She's written 2 nonfiction books, now with her first novel, Deeper Than the Ocean. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you for having me. I'm very happy to be here.
Tell us about the book.
Well, my book breaks together 2 stories. One, the story of Catalina, the daughter of silkworm farmers in 1919 Spain, who falls in love with the wrong boy. Yes, it happens. And then 100 years later, the story of a journalist, Mara Dennis, who is searching for her great-grandmother's story, and in the process stumbles upon a secret that changes everything that she believed about herself and about her family.
So this was inspired by a book you found, what, 20 years ago?
Yes, almost 20 years ago, 2006, in Key West, I found a book titled The Mystery of the Valvanera. And the Valvanera was a ship carrying almost 500 immigrants that sank off the coast of Key West in 1919. And I thought...
And you hadn't heard of it before?
I had never heard of it, and I thought this is the Titanic that no one has ever heard of. And I need to tell the story. And then, George, something really interesting happened. I had a vision. I had this vision of a woman. With,
literally a vision?
Literally, with red flowing hair, in a lilac dress, running through the hallways of a ship, searching for her daughter. And I thought, who is this woman? I need to tell her story. So that's how it happened.
Oh, yeah, true muse. It just came to you.
Yeah, it just came to me.
You said this was also your mother's last gift to you. How did your family history play into all this?
Well, yes. My mother lost her mother the day after she turned 16. And my grandmother, whose name was Catalina Quintana, the name of my protagonist, was only 40 years old. So I grew up listening to the stories of my grandmother and my mother's upbringing. But particularly in the last weeks of her life, my mother told me stories that I had never heard of before. And at first I was a little confused, what is she doing? And then I realized that she was giving me a gift. And I would rush home, and she knew I was writing the book, and she knew that it had her mother's name. And I would go home and write down everything she told me. And little by little, I began to weave in the stories of my mother and my grandmother in the book, and it was just really sweet that it was her gift to me and ultimately my gift to her as well.
Oh, that's so lovely. Like you, I've written nonfiction books. I couldn't imagine how to start a novel. Was it very different for you?
Do you know, it was different, but this book sort of fell on my lap in 2006, and it needed to be told as a novel. I'm not exactly sure why. I also have a very full-time job, and you know, I have a life. I have kids who are now 3 men, and I didn't have the time to do the kind of research that nonfiction takes. But also, I'm a very voracious reader, and I've been reading novels all my life, and sometimes I go, I can do that. I have stories to tell too. And so I wanted to try it. And frankly, it was a lot of fun. It was liberating to be able to do that.
I can tell. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
Deeper Than the Ocean is out now. And this is a really packed Wednesday.
Yeah. A lot.
In all the right ways.
Have a good day, everyone.
We'll see you tomorrow. Bye.